Dear countrymen, I call you countrymen this time, and not dear friends, but countrymen. Today we celebrate the 59th anniversary of the independence of Uganda. As a teacher of political philosophy, I would like to reflect with you on the significance of this independence. Many people will say, what have we gained? Uganda is worse than the time we got independence, before the British left, A, B, C, D, and F. The independence of the human person is a sovereign right that cannot be granted by anybody. You may be a slave, you may be in prison, you may be under colonial rule, but in reality, your independence should be guaranteed by you being a human person. Therefore, the independence of Uganda that came in 1962 was and remains a necessary evil at that time. We are independent, we are a sovereign state. How we are governed right now and how we were governed at the British time is a matter of discussion. But we must not forget that in the British time, we were slaves in our own country, exploited, used for the economic development of our colonialists. Now we are slaves of our own. It is good to be a slave of your own. At least you speak the same language, and when you die, you're buried in the same place. There's one thing we must note very clearly as Ugandans. Historically, we didn't fight much for our independence. Unlike Kenya with the Mau Mau and Tanzania with the Maji Maji. I fight tooth and nail to be free. Somehow, because the British were not interested so much in us, because we were just in the middle there, they only wanted to protect the Nile and the source of the Nile, Lake Victoria and the source of the Nile. We became a protectorate. And when generally Africa started gaining independence, we also got ours. And when we got ours, we started very well. And then we messed up from 1966, we started messing up things, and we continue fighting. And up to now we continue fighting, which is not a bad thing, because the process of the formation of state goes through these kind of differences. Tribal differences, religious differences, color differences, political affiliation differences, until we mature enough to begin to seek for balance of power and to begin to look at each other as members of the same state. We shall take a great stride as a country when it stops to matter where one comes from, and it matters more what one is capable of doing for our country. That will be the time that we shall take a great stride in the right direction. That is a process. You don't expect us to be a democratic like the United States of America, like any other European country, like any other state that we think are more democratic than we are. So we have a whole reason to celebrate. By the way, I'm very proud to be a Ugandan. I'm very proud that we have for 59 years had this independence, and we continue to build our country. With dictatorship or no dictatorship, our country moves on. Time will come when we shall be mature enough, when every Ugandan will be fired by the zeal for the love of the country and not tribal differences. Then we build a democracy that is a fit for Africa. It is not said that the Western democracy is the best form of governance. No, not at all. Because democracy has its own flaws, and it is actually corrupt as before, both in Europe, in America, and elsewhere. Only that our level of political corruption is higher than those elsewhere. But that is a matter of time. Things will change when we mature and when we grow politically. So celebrating 59 years of independence is giving accountability to ourselves, not lamenting of the bread in Egypt like the Israelites, that we had meat and bread in Egypt and you have brought us here to die with the dictatorship and corruption. Who is corrupt? Who sustains corruption in Uganda? Who is he who looks for work, not to work but to earn money without work? Is it government? If you want to open a business in Uganda, you have to fight tooth and nail from your gatekeeper to your manager. And there are leakages everywhere in the system. And we continue pointing fingers at others. We must be the source of change that we need in our country. So, those who say there is no need of celebrating independence because it has brought us more misery than good, etc., miss the point. We celebrate what we have achieved, and we build on what we have achieved. And if we have failed, it is because we, collectively as Ugandans, have failed. Therefore, I would like to wish you a very, very happy Independence Day. Celebrate it, even if there are problems that are still to be solved in the country. Those problems will be solved by you and me and by those who are going to come after us. But there is no need to lament, to curse, and to long for the old gone days. We build the future of our country now, the Pearl of Africa, the most beautiful country that God ever created in this world. So be proud of being a Ugandan and go on in your small way to continue building integrity in this country. Forget about democracy first. Build integrity and all the other things will fall in line. What we lack after 59 years is integrity. Once we have integrity, everything we shall have and everything will fall in line. Integrity first. Our wish, integrity is taught in school and becomes a subject of responsibility. Until then, I salute you countrymen, for God and my country.